Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. We have about 5 albums to go through for this episode. This is from the stuff from not yesterday Friday, but the Friday before that. However, before I start the video, I want to say thank you to everyone who stuck with me throughout the Golden Pat tournament. There was one person in particular called Valencia winning the whole thing, and she did, so she has a shot at the PBW Women's Championship at Defy the Gods 3. Really got to get to work on that, but before I do any of that, I've got this video to make. 5 albums, let's just get to it. However, we don't start off on the best note. Annisokay with their 5th album, Aurora. Now, I called their last album Arms back in 2018 when that came out, and I thought it was alright. I think this one is just slightly more into par. It came out back in January, and I was pretty sure I had it on my radar at that point, but completely forgot about it, so yeah, it doesn't change the fact that this album is kind of blah. It's a D+, like, there are some elements that work, but definitely not enough. The production definitely hurts a lot of the album. And I wish that the new screaming vocalist they got for this one, whose name I don't remember, but like Rudy left, so they got a new screaming vocalist. I wish he had more time to shine, although the clean vocalist does quite a good job, but there's just so much imbalance. I feel like the drummer is overworking himself for an album where no one else is really giving a shit. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of it that just feels off. The lyrics are boring as hell. Like, the structuring does not do a lot. For 48 minutes it was a long slate of just nothing happening really, so yeah, kind of a bland and pointless album really. Nothing a lot to show on. Not the worst thing I've heard all year, but one of the worst albums I've heard recently, because I've been fairly nice as of late, so but yeah, this, like, I'd recommend skipping this one, unless you want to give it a go for yourself, because Annisokay do have potential. They're just not bothering with it on this album. Next up is Capstan with their 2nd album, Separate. These are a bunch of boys from Orlando, Florida, and I called their last album Restless Heart Keep Running back in 2019 and really like that. I like this one even more. I'm giving it an A. I think this album is absolutely phenomenal. I've been a fan of Capstan since I first heard about them, because a friend told me about them on Discord, and I just love their style, like this unique mix of prog rock and pop punk, and sort of like a good emo tinge, a good like bit of emotional hardcore in there. It's all a great mixing pot. There's really fantastic lyrics about mental health and broken relationships, and it's like a self-contained story in this album as well. The instrumentation is great. There's amazing solos, not what you would expect from the emo pop punk style, but again with the prog thrown in, it adds so much. The production is gorgeous as well. It does feel a bit short at times. I was going to say there's only 10 songs, but that's a minimum requirement for a full album, I think, but still, really enjoyed a lot of this, so I'd recommend finding this one out for yourself. I got a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I think Capstan are a band that need to be shared with more people, so find this one out. It's pretty fantastic in roughly all of its areas. Well, in all of its areas. It's really goddamn good, so listen to it. Next up is Descendants with their 8th album, Ninth and Walnut. Now, anyone who knows the Descendants knows about their seminal album that came out about 30 years ago in Milo Coast College, which I've never heard. This was my first full Descendants experience, and you know what, for my first full Descendants album, it wasn't too bad. I'm giving it a B-. I think there are some areas that could have improved, mostly the fact that there's like 18 songs and 25 minutes. Like, that is a horrible balance of time, and I get it, like, you know, really fast hardcore, and a lot of these songs were stuff pre-recorded, recorded like a long time ago, like back before I think they released Milo Coast College, or at least some point after that, but I just didn't really get a lot of the structuring. Like, it's just over way too quick, and with 18 songs, like, why? But still, everything else about it is pretty good. It's got the good punk energy as you would expect from, like, classic American punk, like your Bad Religion and things like that. And most of it works for the most part, you know? I mean, despite the structuring, it does go from song to song pretty quick, so it doesn't waste too much of your time. The lyrics are weird, I'll admit, but the production is actually sort of decent on it, so I will give some points for that, and I do like the cover art because it still uses the band's logo of Milo in some way. So, I don't know, it's just a really good logo. I don't know why I enjoy it, but yeah, maybe give this one a go if you're a Descendants fan, but I think it's an album just for Descendants fans, and since this was my first Descendants album, I don't know if it's fully for me, but I did like it, so who knows, it might be worth going over their old stuff. Next up, we have a debut, though, Mamba Doom with their first album, Ash, Bone, Skin and Stone. These are a band that formed in Newburgh, New York not too long ago. This is their first album. They're a doom, sort of a cult rock leaning band. But here are the instruments they have. They have a lead vocalist who is really, really good, who also plays keys, I believe. There's a bassist and a drummer. There is no actual electric guitar. and it's oh, this album gets a B, by the way. I like this a lot more than I thought I would. Now, I am downgrading it a bit because it is listed as a full album, but it's only got about 8 songs, so I really wanted more out of it. But what I got was just a collection of really sort of nice and cheesy little stories. Like, it's not a style I take too seriously, but in this case, it was done quite well. Like, I don't really do a lot of occult stuff for the reason of, oh, Satan, and the album's lyrics are very heavily themed on that, but it's more in like a pagan sort of having fun kind of way, not the satanist black metal kind of way that can be a bit, Satan, Satan this, Satan that. But anyway, Lucifer, Beelzebub, all them demons, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I'd recommend giving this one a go. I was pleasantly surprised by it. It is mostly saved by the lead vocalist. She has so much charisma and so much power in her voice, and she does such a great job. And yeah, it does have ultimately a slow, droning sound with instruments, but it does a good job, and at just half an hour it serves the time really well, a lot better than Descendants' album does at least, so yeah, I don't know, maybe it's worth a try. I mean, for a debut it's not too bad. For a debut of a genre I don't particularly like, it's pretty good for it, I think, so I don't know, maybe it might be up your alley. Give it a shot yourself. And finally, sort of a unique one, Times of Grace with their second album, Songs of Loss and Separation. Now, Times of Grace are the band that current and technically former, but current as again, Killswitch Engage vocalist Jesse Leach formed after he left Killswitch Engage and they brought in Howard Jones. And if you've heard Jesse in Killswitch and don't like the Jesse era of Killswitch, I fully understand. Howard Jones is a bit better in that regard. But Howard Jones put out an album with Light the Torch that was good. Jesse put out an album with Times of Grace that is fucking phenomenal. I'm giving this an A. I love this. This feels like a proper good metal album, And it's got so much emotion behind it as well. And Jesse, he doesn't scream as much. He gets the chance to sing more. And his singing voice, it doesn't exactly rival Howard's, but it's pretty fucking great. And God, the lyrics, I felt so much about the lyrics, so much focus on depression and anxiety and separation, and the instrumentation is fantastic as well. I mean, Adam D does the guitar work on this album, and Adam D is always reliable, and he does the producing as well. He does the production too, and it's going to be fucking good from that regard too. Just solid metal like that. Oh, it's that punch you in the chest metal that you really, really need, so yeah, I definitely recommend finding this one. It took me completely by surprise, and if you're looking for something that's a break from Killswitch that isn't Light the Torch, I'd recommend searching for this album, Times of Grace. And I hope that they do more stuff soon, because there's no reason to say they can't, but obviously Jesse's got his commitments to Killswitch, so I don't know. Point is, find this album good, this album really good. And that will about do it for this video. I don't have much else to add. Most recommended albums, because I keep forgetting to do this, are Capstan with Separate and Times of Grace with lots of Songs of Loss and Separation. Both great albums, oh my goodness. And next episode we'll have 6. I've listened to 4 of them already, so I look forward to that. And the next video you'll see me for will probably be, I was going to say Music of the Week. No, it's going to be probably Friday Night Review tomorrow. Or if not, then I don't know what, probably nothing. I might get the first part of the Golden Path tournament uploaded, because I'm going to spend all next week doing that, because there's some things I still have to edit, which I haven't even started on yet. I'm going to start on Monday. So yeah, that'll about do it. I've said all I need to say, and I will see you presumably tomorrow, or not until next week, in terms of actual video. So who knows? As always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.